Hey everybody, it's Jay and Kim Harmon, and we are just back from Oregon Raceway Park. Now, you haven't seen Kim Harmon on one of these for a fairly long time. She was afraid she would have a little misspeaking incident again.
They keep your feet warm okay, but there's the problem of your scrotum staying
Can't
kind
go one video without saying
kinda.
the word scrotum.
We've cured that with an intensive speech therapy program.
Scrotum. Scrotum.
Now, we haven't been to ORP in, 5-6 years. Not because it's in the middle of nowhere, but because Oregon has these really difficult laws, like it's illegal to fish with canned corn, you can't pump your own gas, and it has an official state nut.
Both hella sweet and but terrible at this event are veteran participants Kristen Malik and Leslie Brooks, who spotted a bribe on our table that was a very beautiful cake. Kristen saw it and for some reason said, "I just want to stick my face in that." So Leslie held the cake for her and she proceeded to motorboat the cake.
Yeah.
Hella sweet, team ran out of talent, brought their Geo Metro. Predictably, being a Geo Metro, it blew a hole in the transmission like the size of Hell's Canyon. But the two teenage sons of the team captain, they jumped right in. They got this thing bing, bing, boom in. They would have one heroic fix, except for a certain Subaru we will be talking about later. Hella sweet, Dirty Duck Racing was back. Let me just say, if you're ever hurting for a theme and you think it's difficult, these guys 10 years ago, they did a magic theme. They put a rabbit on a windshield wiper motor coming out of a hat on top of the car, and for 10 years, it's been hilarious. These guys, they always run really fast. They are always second. We put them in A class, they finish second. We put them in B class, they finish second. I'm thinking we're going to move them to C.
Also hella sweet for this event was our own Judge Tom's Jeep. It was a World War II-ish Jeep, which quickly became the favorite of Dale Strimple, who's also World War II-ish.
Hella sweet, In Motion Racing and their 2015 Audi A3. $500, my ass. How do you get a $500 2015 Audi A3? Well, first of all, everybody knows those A3s are terrible. Nobody wants them. They went to Copart and they got a car that was, quote, 70% complete for $575. They sold the front bumper for $75. Boom. There they go, $500. And now they have about 60% of a car. They made it run anyway without a lot of stuff on the front and actually did pretty well.
Hella sweet was Team There Is No Spoon, which of course is a reference to the Matrix. Where there is no spoon.
Where's the spoon? Aha! Aha!
So they showed up with a fork and knife costume because, there is no spoon.
Whoa.
Hella sweet, hella shitty, and their borrowed 95 Civic. Now, off-roaders love the 95 Civic, right? Not exactly. However, when you zip tie all kinds of Jeep parts onto it, have big off-road flags running around, and then finish 5th overall in this horrible car, that's hella sweet.
If you've followed this channel for a while, you're probably familiar with the 63 Studebaker Avanti. When you race a charming car like this, it's only a matter of time before you're gonna burst into flames. So that was but terrible, but hella sweet. They spent all night fixing everything they needed to fix on the car, got back out there, and finished top 10.
But terrible, the C3 Corvette of Zora Dummkopf Racing. Brilliant name, by the way. Now, this is the BMW straight 6-powered Corvette. Because this thing looks so good, there's always a ton of paddock rumors surrounding it. So, between this gorgeous car and those rumored killer drivers, clearly it dominated. Now, speaking of butt terrible 70 American automobiles, Low Road Racing brought their 76 Pontiac Sunbird, and this thing was smoking all weekend long. Now, was it, they forgot to use funnels to fill their oil?
Yes!
Was it generally poor preparation?
Yes!
Was it just the fact that it's a 76 Sunbird?
Yes! Well!
Well, we don't really know either. All we know is that every car that came up behind them, which was to say all of them, they really had a choice at that point. Either they had to get around them incredibly fast, or they had to get stuck behind them and just choke on toxic fumes.
Overall winner for this event was St. Tomas and their VW Corrado. They didn't exactly cruise to victory. With about an 8-lap lead, partway through the race, they had an unscheduled pit stop. Team leader Jay St. Clair sprinted to pit lane. He saw that the driver had puked all over himself. Now you need to understand, Jay St. Clair, he's a gun-toting, big truck-driving manly man of the paddock. But he could not handle this scene and promptly exited with a chain reaction of vomiting. Lucky for them, this happened at the exact same time that the Avanti burst into flames. That brought out the red flag they needed to maintain the lead.
All right, let's move on to the awards that we actually care about, starting with the heroic fix. This went to the non-player special and the Subaru I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Now, they're bringing a Subaru Legacy, so they knew that the engine was going to blow up, so they were smart. They brought a spare motor. What happened? Well, that just meant they blew up 2 motors. They had to go out into the wilds and find 2 more Subaru motors. At the very end of the race, they got it kind of running on number 4 and finished. Heroic.
I Got Screwed went to Piston Liberation Front, who brought the first ever Edsel to Lemons. It's a weird car with a weird transmission. It hella blew up on Friday's practice day. They got a replacement transmission from our very own Judge Tom. That one didn't work either. So at that point, they said, F it, and switched over to their much more reliable and sensible 58 Jaguar.
The special trophy for this race was the By the Book Award, which went to car 69.
69. Nice.
That notwithstanding, somebody brought us a bribe to tech. It was a book called Crap Cars, and the judges, were looking through it and we realized, wait a minute, there's 6 different, that book! There's 6 of these in this race, so we made that a special class, and the team that won was this 300ZX.
Speaking of judges, Judge's Choice went to BSOD Racing, which had a Windows 98 theme. What car matches the glitchiness of Windows 98 any better than this?
Organizer's Choice went to car 664 Nacho Friend Racing. Now, we love these guys because every time they come, they just keep bringing us nachos. All weekend long, we're sitting around, more nachos. So of course they did that, but this time they also did more. The team parked next to them, they had no idea what they were doing, so much so that they totaled their RV on the way to the racetrack, and they showed up kind of dazed and bruised. Somehow they got the car there. They had no tools. They had no food. They had no shelter. They were headed to disaster. Nacho Friend said, we will be your friends. They gave them food. They fed them all weekend. They got their car running. They got them strapped in. They got them to pass tech. They put a roof over their heads. They took care of these guys. That's what we like to see in Lemons. Organizer's Choice.
And that takes us to the grand prize of the weekend, the IOE. This award went to the Go-Kart Homies, who were the team that crashed their RV. The driver of this RV thought better of his condition and decided not to drive for the event. The team captain then thought, well, we should probably try to get another driver in. So they flew another dude in all the way from Boston last minute, only to find out when they came for their armband that he's only 15, they didn't read the rules, the guy wasn't qualified to drive. But hey, it was a fantastic theme, the car was covered in fur, everyone was cuddling it all weekend. IOE.
All right, here's Lemons in a nutshell.
See, that's how we should go around the racetrack, just be a push.
Odom. Scrotum!